Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with
Michael Anthony Fitness.
And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joke Boost Sports Report. Without you guys, this ain't working without you guys. All right, man, it is Hangover Monday, and you know what that means. That means we got our live stream tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern. And what a difference 3 weeks makes. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. The world has changed in 3 weeks. You know that, right? Where were we 3 weeks ago? Man, we were like, man, we number 4 taken, man. We lose to Cincinnati, we might be number 3 in the pick. Our season is trash. Our team is trash. We are dumpster fire, man. We had the New York Giants. We were praising Jason Garrett and that 31st ranked offense and that defense of theirs and saying the Giants were the class of the division. But they were also talking about that Washington football team and how great they were with that defense. Chase Young, that guy, Montez Sweat and all those guys, and Keith Sweat Keith Sweat. Oh, I'm sorry, I had a flashback. Okay, and Keith Sweat was a singer years ago. Okay. And now, here we are. What happened today, man? What just happened today to that Washington football team? That Washington football team that all they had to do was win 1 of 3 games.
No, they got a practice squad quarterback playing right now.
Why do they have a practice squad quarterback after spending draft capital for a quarterback? Not Kyler Murray. They wish they had Kyler Murray.
I know.
Dwayne Haskins.
Is gone.
Homegrown guy. Because, they drafted him knowing that he's going to want to show up and show off because he's playing in front of his home team.
Well, yeah, he did show off at that club.
Oh. Not masking up. Not socially distancing. You know what that kind of reminds me of? That reminds me of Odell Beckham Jr., okay, who has had a maturity issue. When they finally made the playoffs in 2016, that last year, by the way, that you Giants actually beat the Cowboys, the last time. That's 4 years ago.
Yeah, Dak Prescott's rookie year.
4 years ago. The Giants made it to the playoffs, beating the Washington football team. And instead of Odell going back with the team to New Jersey, because they actually play in New Jersey, not New York, he flew to Miami to hang out with Justin Bieber, a known jinx. That boy is jinx, man. You think the black cat's bad. Justin Bieber, he's even worse. There's the jinx of Justin Bieber. But hung out on the Love Boat there with his boys and stuff, hanging out in the club and stuff, and then proceeded to go to Green Bay, out in the cold where I think it was 3 degrees, out there with no shirt on and just shorts, like, the cold ain't bothering me, and proceeded not to do anything in the playoffs. So you had Haskins this past week, up in the club getting tipsy, making it rain and all that, not masking up and looking like a disgrace.
They don't have a job now.
And then it's one thing to do that kind of stuff, and then you go out and play, and it's like, okay, it's all good, man, because a win cures everything. But then to go out and what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday when he had one job? What was that one job?
To show up.
To show up and win a game. You had one job, and you failed miserably. This guy, we're just listening to Skins fan all day, and over there they crying, man. They're saying we think it's a conspiracy, man. They don't want us to win on Sunday. So the Washington football team.
But do they even want to win on Sunday?
Well, they just said, you know what, we're done. They literally are done with Haskins.
What we do earlier in the season? So I have a flu bug and I need to go home, and they proceeded to let him go home. I would have cut him right then and there.
Well, and then getting tickets for some of his people at the team hotel, which is against NFL rules. So, he got busted twice against protocol. And you can see where it's kind of like, and maybe it's just they just don't want to play in Washington, but that doesn't make any sense because that's where all his people are.
I think Dwayne Haskins' issue is maturity level.
Well, he has now been released by the Washington football team, and if nobody picks him up off the waiver wires, I think they will still be paying for his rights for next year. So, that's about $4.5 million that's on their salary cap for a guy that's, not there.
At least he'll get a check.
Well, but the checks, like Brian Mitchell was just saying, you know what, bro, you don't get paid like this everywhere.
Of course you don't.
You don't get and you don't get too many opportunities here. Now, I will say that there are some quarterbacks that have been around that long. I mean, RG3, the fact that he's still been after what he's gone through, still has a job, getting a paycheck. Goes to show you somebody will take a flyer on him.
But he's injured now. I think he's injured.
The fact that Josh Rosen just got signed by somebody.
He's with the 49ers and they won. He's their backup quarterback.
Okay, but I'm saying that as a quarterback, you get opportunity after opportunity, but nobody wanted to trade for us behind before. And this is that cautionary tale because as we were sitting here listening to some of the talking heads and stuff, they were talking about he was one of the most talented quarterbacks in that draft. And, of course, the Giants took Danny Dollar ahead of him. And, again, another quarterback that they thought highly of, Eli Manning, gave him the, proverbial kiss of death, I guess.
It's him and his family.
He said that this guy is great. And right now, you're looking at that draft, I think, really, Kyler Murray is the only quarterback you look at and say, yeah, that guy's doing really good.
Yeah, because they fit the offensive scheme for what Kyler Murray did in college.
That's right. And so for all those that are saying, just draft another quarterback, here, let me give you the litany of the Washington football team.
They'll probably be
over the last 10 years. This is insane. And you could go through with Cleveland Browns and do kind of a similar thing. But 2010, they signed Donovan McNabb to, I think the extension was $70-some million, but he only played 1 year, and it was like $42 million that he got for that 1 year. Right? $42 million for 1 year. Then 2012, they traded 3 number ones and a second to get RG3, who was Rookie of the Year, by the way. Got them to the playoffs, messed up his knee, and was never the same. Fortunately, they also drafted in that draft Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, who got playing time. He wasn't really the Jay Gruden guy, and so he was always trying to get Colt McCoy out there instead of Kirk Cousins. They ended up franchise tagging him twice, paying him $19 million and $24 million back-to-back years, in which case he ended up walking, going to Minnesota and stealing more money. And they decided to sign Alex Smith that they paid $68 million, I think, for 3 years. I think it was 68.
This last year, they hooked him.
Okay, in which case he messed up his knee, halfway through the season, his leg, and came back this year with still he played okay, but there's no guarantee that he'll be able to play this last game. So you got Alex Smith. In the meantime, after Alex Smith got hurt, you took a first-round draft pick for Haskins. So as we sit here right now today with Haskins being released, with the Washington football team taking 4 first-round picks and a second and a fourth on quarterbacks, having paid 2 veteran quarterbacks over $100 million. In 10 years, they still don't have a quarterback.
We got Heineken.
We got Heine.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Number
4.
Heineke. We'll just call him Heine.
Sounds like an alcoholic beverage.
Well, that's exactly what the Skins need. They need some alcohol, man. We ought to send them that Mad Dog 2020 that my man had, because y'all need to get drunk. Y'all need to get drunk, man. I mean, damn. You can't waste first-round draft picks. Yeah, you just can't. That literally sets your franchise back. At least we can say they didn't trade up to get him.
Yeah, at least.
That's the only good news on that one. So that's where we are. Washington, a team still without a quarterback.
Yeah, so they're probably not going to want to win. So it's like, it's whoever wins. Neither one of the teams want to win because the Eagles aren't playing for nothing.
Yeah, well, Ron Rivera's got to be like, why did I come here? Why did I come here?
I mean, hey, the defense.
Defense is good.
But the defense can only do so much off the offense. It's like New York.
You're right about
New York
that.
has okay defense, but the defense can do so much.
You're right about that. All right, y'all. Make sure you tune in tonight for our live stream. We got a lot to talk about. Later on, I'll have a video on the one thing that has changed this team room. I know a lot of you will say, oh, well, because we're doing better in the running game, right? Tony Pollard last week, Zeke Elliott this week. Oh, no, Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton playing great. That's why we turned it around. Okay. Oh, the offensive line. Now we played with the same offensive line starting. Hope they ain't coming for me. Okay, they ain't coming for me. Same offensive line. That's why we're winning. No. Those are all things that contribute, but there's a reason that all of those things are happening for the Cowboys, and I'll tell you that later on. Yeah, so what you got coming up? Are you doing Twitch?
Yeah, Wednesday and Saturday. Wednesday and Saturday.
Wednesday's not until the end. It's Monday.
Yeah,
You ain't got nothing going until Wednesday. Oh, Wednesday. Okay, I'm thinking Saturday.
You said Twitch. You said Twitch.
Twitch.
That's Wednesday and Saturday.
I think the Flintstones did that. There's a place I know where there's something called Bedrock. Twitch. I gotta find that. The Fred Flintstone song. I think he says Twitch in it. Okay.
I have some videos in between them.
That ought to be your intro. Fred Flintstone singing Twitch. I'm really old. Most of you like, who? Fred who? Yeah, Fred Flintstone. All right, y'all. Peace out. I don't know what you Washington team's going to do for a quarterback. I just don't know. Peace.